Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 8th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. This is Kyle Mountsier, back from the dead. Today we're talking about Lithia parts, dealers investing in tech funds, and you can't trade in a Cybertruck even if you wanted to.
Not even if you wanted to.
We know some people who will take them.
You're stuck with it. Yeah, I know some people. I know some people that
we
take
knew
those
2-3
things.
people be like, look, just skip. We'll talk about that when we get to it.
We'll just skip. Yeah.
How you
just
feeling, man? It was really weird having you
Buddy.
be sick because you don't get sick.
I don't get sick.
I didn't realize you were human.
I had one of our team members be like, "Oh, really? You're sick? That's new."
No, is it April 1st?
Yeah.
It April 1st?
Man, yesterday was intense. Definitely, was like in the bed the entire day.
Ugh.
And I don't like that feeling because Mondays are like my favorite day. I wake up ready to go, ready to get back after it after a weekend. So, but team held down the fort. You and Michael crushed the pod. Good to go. Next.
It's good to have you back. Listen, not necessarily because you're sick, but with all of the things going on, we've been talking a lot about ASOTU CON, which is coming up here in just like under 40 days. And we have a lot of hype and things around it. Like we talk about the experience and the design and the swag and the scarves and all that. And but the reality is ASOTU CON is one of the most pointed places to figure out how to best deal with the things that are going on right now.
Yep.
The people who are actually moving and injecting new ideas and innovations into managing customer expectations through tariffs, fixed operations and parts, what you're doing in your sales, people with all different OEM experiences are going to be converging at ASOTU CON. So I don't want that to get lost in the mix because we do such a good job on the design, so much so that I broke this shirt out today.
Oh, you got the old "No Crisis Can Win" shirt. Oh, that's such a good shirt.
This is an OG shirt, and this was what happened when the pandemic started. The whole mantra of ASOTU was when dealers band together, no crisis can win. And now you pair that with this more than cars mentality that's kind of come together, and it had me so inspired. I actually texted Rhett Reichert, right, because he was the OG general. I'm really working. I'm gonna try to get Rhett Reichert out to ASOTU CON.
I like it.
Especially because Tom Castriota can't make it because he's going to be at the Italian NADA.
He's going to be an Italian.
I think Rhett's a fair stand-in for the voice of the dealers.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is, I think, as with any timing, it's always good to have the conversations that are right on hand. And when I look through the topics and panel lists, everything that we're going to be talking about, doesn't matter which stage you hit, you're going to get real actionable things to take back to the store and implement quickly. Right?
Yeah, Nathan, our producer, is typing in "No Crisis Can Win" shirts at ASOTU CON. I'm already ahead of you. But he said new design, maybe new design. I don't know if enough people have the OG design though.
Right.
Might be throwback, but yes,
action.
Telling you, we'll definitely have "No Crisis Can Win" t-shirts. It's time to bring them back. It's been 3-4 years. All right, let's get into some news. By the way, did we put a ASOTU CON graphic up? Did we miss something? Was I supposed to?
I don't know.
No, I just have it there. I just have it there in case I want to flash it up. But you guys were having such a great
Go
chat.
ahead, flash it up.
Okay.
We were. It's about ASOTU CON. I want to thank our friends at Reynolds & Reynolds and Goobagoo for being presenting sponsors this year and making it happen. Put the other graphic up too. Everybody knows them, loves them. The best conversations in automotive happen here. There's a picture of the hotel. That's a nice hotel. You've been in nice hotels. You've been to networking parties. But what you haven't done is talk to the people how are dealing with these situations right now, in mass, in person. Just saying. All right, let's talk about some news. I don't even think we're going to mention the T word for the rest of this episode.
Whoa.
I think
that's kind of mind-boggling.
It is. So I had to get it out in the morning, but it's good. It's good. Facing underperformance in its service and parts growth, Lithia Motors is turning inward, challenging its frontline teams to raise the bar and reclaim momentum in this key revenue area, fixed ops. Their Q4 same-store service and parts revenue grew by 3.4%, but falling short of their peers like Sonic, which grew 10%, and Penske, 6.2%. CEO Bryan DeBoer emphasized it's not a technician shortage that's causing this, but a mindset issue among service advisors and managers. When the CEO starts saying that, you start to be like, stand up a little straighter. Company is expanding its Partners Group program to include department managers, offering stock incentives tied to higher performance standards. COO Adam Chamberlain sees the after-sales department as a major 2025 growth driver, but warns current operations sacrifice customer pay for warranty work. Bryan DeBoer, CEO, again, said, quote, There's been a way too soft of management and lip service. 60 to 90 days is our new mantra. That sounds like he's ready to go.
Look, first of all, to come out and say this in a public space is bold. But look, service and parts is the engine that keeps the business running when it comes to the entire operation, right? It doesn't matter if you're talking about used cars, you're talking about customer pay turning in service to sales opportunities. It is the fixed ops department that I would say is the heart and soul of an automotive franchise dealership. And so if you feel at all like the entire organization is falling short, that's a great place to focus on. And yes, it can have an absolutely massive shift in your profitability. Some of the best dealerships that I know, like you look at how many people you get to touch in a service department as compared to a sales
higher
department every single month, like the impact, it's
brand build, brand awareness, customer experience, all the things. Had a little time to spend with Bryan a couple of years ago at the Auto Team America event, and I interviewed him while he was playing a game of pinball. It was amazing. It was fun. But the level of mental acuity that this man has is super impressive. And I'm like, if we're betting right now, we're not really bettors, you and I, but if I was a betting man, I would bet that in the next quarter, there's going to be a massive turnaround. And that they have a great organization with some great leadership. And I think the focus on it, what gets focused on gets fixed. And he's obviously told the whole world at the public announcement, he's like, we're focusing on this group of managers right here.
You got to shape up if you're in that group right now.
Yep. So there you go. Coming in. Hey, nice little chime in from our friend Doug Klesson in the comments. Fixed ops used to be and should be at least 80% of the dealer's profitability. ! If you're just listening. Let's get back there. We agree with you, Doug. He also says happy episode 1012. on our way to 2000.
That's a good number.
That is. Yeah. Speaking of good numbers.
Whoa.
$240 million is a really good number. So venture firm FM Capital closed its fourth fund at $240 million, almost $250 million. He's starting to throw that B word around, aiming to fuel retail and mobility tech across the auto industry with major backing from dealership groups.
Yeah.
The fund surpassed $200 million, its $200 million target, despite a tough venture capital environment currently. Guess not in auto. Investments will target AI, fleet tech, autonomy, connectivity, and energy transition. 125 investors participated total, including 56 dealership groups representing over 1,100 stores. Holman and Cox Automotive returned as key backers for this round as well. Chase Frazier, our good friend, you'll meet him where? Where are you going to meet Chase?
At ASOTU CON,
absolutely.
Of course.
Managing partner of FM Capital said, quote, dealerships really respect entrepreneurs because they are entrepreneurs themselves. They want to get involved. They want to mentor some of these entrepreneurs. They want to test their products. They want to give them feedback because who knows better than the user?
That's right. Look, first of all, kudos to FM Capital, the whole team there. Chase is such a good friend. He is going to be at ASOTU CON, both being a judge on Pitch Tank, but also he's going to be sitting in on an extended conversation with Steve Greenfield, Bill Karras, a couple others, just simply on what the landscape of investment in auto retail tech and mobility right now is. And that's going to be important for dealers to understand. It's going to be important for industry partners to understand, like, where's the money flowing and what's incentivizing people to kind of like buy into some of this stuff. But firsthand, we took, dealer funds as an investment when we started. And I can tell you, like, being close to the dealer is super important, and I think it's important for tech partners. It's important for these venture funds. It's important for us because that's the end user. That's the person that gets to tell you whether or not it's working on the front lines and having an impact. So I love this fund. I love this fund. Auto Tech VC.
Those three on a stage together.
It's going to be so good.
Bill Karras, Steve Greenfield, and Chase Frazier. Come on, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Listen, and I think this is another great reason that if you are a dealer or a GM who is paying attention to what's going on in the future and trying to find those solutions, and you like trying things and you like seeing what's over the horizon first, that's the panel to be at. And ASOTU CON is the place where you can continue those conversations with all the other dealers and CMOs and CTOs and COOs that think the same way. You got to be around the people first if you want to get, the first things there. And if you have some money to invest, Those are the guys you want to be next to.
That you want to get next to. That's right.
The truth. Speaking of getting next to people,
Oh,
we're getting away from people. A lot of that going on.
Tesla Cybertruck is facing a brand new problem. Its maker doesn't even want it back. Owners looking to trade in their trucks are supposedly getting turned away, exposing deeper trouble for the high-profile pickup. Tesla is reportedly refusing to accept Cybertrucks as trade-ins, citing resale struggles and declining demand. They also have a backlog of nearly 2,400 unsold units worth about $200 million, with used values down 55% year over year, 13% over the last 3 months, and 6% over the last month. So that thing is taking a beating. Some frustrated owners are even resorting to trying to use lemon laws to offload the vehicle. Other dealers are actually lowballing owners, avoiding Cybertrucks altogether due to the market instability. Here it is. A Cybertruck recall this year revealed that only 46,000 of the vehicles have been delivered.
That's how the number finally got out. It was the recall. 1 million pre-orders, 46,000 delivered, 2,400 sitting in a lot, unsold. I mean, Tesla can't catch a break right now, without a doubt. I think that these Cybertrucks, I've driven them, like it's an amazing vehicle.
Right.
It's truly an amazing vehicle. And I think once the political heat dies down, and I think it will, I think in the used market, these trucks are just going to become the value vehicle, right? I bought this F-150 Lightning I had. It was $100,000 brand new. I bought it for $45,000 with 23,000 miles on it.
Unbelievable.
Right? And I think the Cybertruck is probably going to experience the same thing. It already is, obviously, with a 55% drop in value. Granted, some of that 55% is a little stark because when they first came out, the used values were very, very high in the very beginning, right? Used value of a Cybertruck could have been double MSRP, but still, I think it's going to become a value truck. It's going to be less of a stigma in some of the country to drive one. So I think it's going to come back, but I think there are a lot of dealers that know what to do with these trucks. So
that's the trick. I think that like this is still, and to Jimmy Douglas at Plugs, kind of like his calling card is they're still finding the right dealer to have these cars, right? We know some of them, EV Autos with Alex Lawrence, Recharged. If the right dealer, whether it be a used car dealer, or franchise dealer, has these cars, knows how to market them, knows how to get them to the right consumer, the consumer is taking interest in EVs from them, they're going to be fine. So, this is clearly like an issue from Tesla's perspective, but I think the retail industry can handle it.
I think so too. I was driving today, like driving to work, and I've been charging out front, and I realized I have not been to a gas station in quite a while.
That's staggering.
And it is awesome. It really is great not having to stop there. Like, cause I'm always running late. You know me. I'm always late. Right on the line. And I'm like, and actually having an EV makes you pay more attention to how much, charge you have.
So interesting.
Right? More than your gas. Like,
without a doubt.
Because with gas, you're like, I'll just get it next
wherever.
time.
Exactly.
And then before you know it, you're like, nope, now this is the time I have to get gas. It doesn't happen to EV. I don't know. A lot going on. Listen, folks, no crisis can win. When dealers band together, no crisis can win. Be with all those other dealers at ASOTU CON. Go to ASOTUCON.com, get your tickets, be with us, fix your problems. It'll be fun.